Imagine training your entire life to participate in Olympic Games. Imagine what happens when those games turn into a nightmare. Well, this actually seems to be happening for some of the Olympic athletes and various Olympic teams, that have shown up in China to compete. And they got sick, and they got quarantined. I found this an interesting story, so here we go. From an authoritative source called the Associated Press, at least as far as YouTube is concerned, we have a story. It's titled, Olympic Teams Raise Concerns Over Quarantined Hotels. Quarantine hotels. There is not enough food, inedible meals, no training equipment. Some Olympic athletes are unlucky enough to test positive for the global crisis. And at the Olympics, the Beijing Olympics, they feel their quarantine conditions are making a bad situation much worse. This is a quote. My stomach hurts. I'm very pale and I have huge black circles around my eyes. I want all of this to end. I cry every day. I'm very tired. This is a Russian biathlon competitor, Valeria Vanetsova, posted on Instagram from one of Beijing's so-called quarantine hotels. Her problem wasn't with any symptoms of the virus. It was the food. Vanestova posted a picture on Thursday of what she said was breakfast, lunch, dinner for 5 days already. A tray of food that included plain pasta in orange, charred meat on a bone, a few potatoes, and no greens. She said she mostly survived on a few pieces of pasta because it was impossible to eat the rest of it. But today, I ate all of the fat that they serve instead of meat because I'm very hungry. She added she lost a lot of weight and my bones are already sticking out. Holy cow. The quarantine hotels are increasingly the target of criticism from athletes and their teams who are lobbying organizers for improvements. There is a lack of transparency, too, with only some virus-positive athletes forced into quarantine hotels where their teams don't have access, while teammates in similar situations are allowed to isolate within the Olympic Village itself. The rules for athletes who test positive say that without symptoms, they go to a dedicated hotel for isolation. Anyone who has the global crisis symptoms will go to a hospital. In both cases, they'll be unable to compete until cleared for discharge. Teams have started going public with their criticism, probably for good reason. After Eric Frenzel, a three-time gold medalist in Nordic combined, tested positive, German delegation head Dick Schimmelpfennig lambasted the unreasonable living conditions. Germany wants larger, more hygienic rooms and more regular food deliveries so athletes who are eventually released are still fit to compete. Schimmelpfennig said in comments reported by the FAZ newspaper, probably a German newspaper. Pressure can pay off. Belgian skeleton racer Kim Mettelmans was brought back from quarantine hotel to isolation in the athlete's village after she made a tearful post on social media. Her main gripe was the lack of information. She was loaded into an ambulance and transported from one facility to another on a day that she thought she was actually being released. Vanestova has passed her time in quarantine with a little detective work. When fetching the food left outside of her door, she took a glance at the boxes left outside of other rooms along her corridor, whose doors were labeled with signs to distinguish Olympians from other people working at the games who also tested positive, such as team staff. She concluded the athletes were getting worse food and underlined it with a picture of food served to her team doctor, who had also tested positive and was living 2 floors below. He had fresh fruit, a salad, prawns with broccoli. Holy cow. I honestly don't understand why there is this attitude towards us athletes. She wrote. 2 days on from her criticism, Vanestova is still in quarantine, but things are looking up. Well, I should hope so. Russian biathlon team spokesman Sergei Everinov posted a picture of what he said was an improvised meal delivered to Vanestova's room, including salmon, cucumbers, sausage, and a yogurt. A stationary bike will be delivered soon, he added. Vanestova, he wrote, is already smiling, and that's the main thing. Now, normally I don't just read an article verbatim. I did comment a few times here, but normally I provide commentary all along, but I didn't need to. This particular article tells you what's happening there, without a lot of embellishment and or editorializing on my part. It doesn't sound very good, and it sounds like if you test positive as an athlete, you are intentionally being put in a position to be unsuccessful if you're able to compete in the games. This goes right along with some social credit stuff that we are left to understand. When you transgress, you don't exactly have the best opportunity for the best experiences going forward. Holding these games in China at this time was always going to be difficult. And with the previous videos you've seen this week, the ratings are bearing out a lack of interest, at least here in the United States, and probably most of North America when it comes to linear television consumption, not to mention the streaming as well. It seems like the last thing in the world that you would want to do is test positive, at least at this Olympic Games, because it doesn't sound like you're going to get quality treatment. Anyway, I'm just curious, after bringing this story to you, what you think. Are you engaged in these games? Do you think stories like this are going to be more common when we have international competition where things don't exactly go fairly for people who get sick or are diagnosed as being sick, even if they show no symptoms? Do you think we should have even tried to have an Olympic Games this year? And do you feel like the whole concept of global unity is an archaic one? I'm interested in what your comments are, so do use the section down below. I would truly appreciate that. Also, be sure to support other independent content creators here on the platform. They absolutely deserve your support, and without you, they don't have a great chance at growth. So if you can comment, leave a like, subscribe to their channel, and even share out their videos, it does make a huge difference for them and for me as well. With that being said, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Hey there, one last quick note before I let you go. And before we make it to the end of this video, I, CultureCasino, have a brand new Teespring store. That's right, you can now go to Teespring, look up CultureCasino, or use the link in the video below, and pick out some handsome and beautiful CultureCasino merchandise with many different designs and styles and colors, many different items. I was actually surprised at all of the things that you could create. And I have some more designs and items on the way here shortly. But, you know, if you want to support the channel in that way, there is some merch. Otherwise, here comes the ending. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.